Trevs Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, continuing on with my favorite jersey from nearly every team. I've explained why it's almost every team and why it's not every team, so we can go with that. Today, we're continuing in the tri-state area. We're going to visit the Islanders and at least their jersey history. This should be interesting because really there's been some pretty interesting designs come out of Rhode Island. And the beauty is, not all of them are bad. Contrary to popular belief, they're not all that bad. Let's talk about it. So if you're unfamiliar with what I'm doing is I'm going through almost every team's jersey history, with the exception of two so far. And I'm going over all their jerseys, and I'm picking 5 that I would call my favorites. And of those 5, I'm going to pick one and call it my absolute favorite. Because it's a good enough time to say, hey, this team had this jersey, and it's my favorite because that's why. And well, the Islanders have had some pretty interesting designs. Some have been not liked at all. Some have been pretty much panned. But they have had some nice designs, some iconic designs that you would know them as. But if you're unfamiliar with how I'm getting my sources, or where I'm going to look at all these jerseys, let me show you. You want to go to NHLuniforms.com, and they have every jersey ever made from every team, including the All-Star jerseys, by year. And it goes all the way down to the beginning of the creation of the NHL. But today, thankfully, we're only talking about one team right now. So let's do that. Here we go. It's a nice little sample. Every jersey the Islanders have worn. And yeah, like I said, some good, some bad, some just completely unoriginal. But we're going to critique and pick 5 from this list. So let's get to it. Like always, we're going to include their current set right now and their current thirds for good measure, which is just a nice little rip of their Stadium Series jersey from 14, just modernized and looks better. The Reebok redesigns, which weren't bad. I didn't mind them. I know a lot of Islanders fans didn't like them, but I didn't mind them. Every Islanders fan's favorite, the Fisherman. They only rocked that for 2 seasons. And to round it all out, the Brooklyn Thirds. Now, if you recall, in most videos that have come before this on this exact topic, I've always said, going in, most times I know my favorite jersey from said team. This one's no exception. You can start your screaming now. I went with the Fisherman. What's not to like about this? I mean, if you were to set this out now, or if this was the retro reverse instead of what we got last season, it would have been a hotcake seller, guaranteed. It was a different look. It wasn't just anything that screamed circle on Rhode Island that had said Islanders underneath it. It gave the team a bit of an identity. And if not the Fisherman, then definitely the lighthouse on the shoulders could have did that. It's unique. It's different. I thought it was an amazing jersey. I mean, until they went with this. In my mind, that made it ugly. Just because you're not wanting to move forward with the design you probably spent years coming up with. Instead, just copy and paste your logo to your current set and then change it back over next year. But, point remains, Fisherman, my favorite. So those are all our Trevs Hockey shows. Well, thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture. especially if you're at this point. That helps us both. So it's a great thing, right? Let's keep it going. Give me a like since you're here. You've made it this far. It's only fair. And if you haven't already, and you're seriously considering it, that red button that says subscribe, you know you want to. I want you to. You want to. And subscribing makes you feel good, so let's do it up. Socials in the description down below. Moving forward, as far as this is concerned, what comes after the Islanders? The Rangers. So we're going to Broadway after this. But in the meantime, and in between time, be looking for readers from Trev. Later.